Roberto Uranga is running for re-election for the 7th District of the City of Long Beach. And today we're going to ask him what it's been like these last 4 years, Roberto. You're running for re-election. What are you most proud of and what it's been like?
Well, I think we've made a lot of change and made a lot of progress in the city the last 4 years. This is an example of the progress that we've made in the 7th District. This is a steelhead business that opened up a few years ago that I helped create. It's containers that have been converted into businesses, pizza, shaved ice cream, a brewery. And it's through the help of our office, we were able to get all the permits and help the business owners get this started. And that's not the only one. There's a Steelhead coffee shop that we established that helped open on the corner of Orange and Wardlow. We just did a little grand opening for Liberation Brewing Company, which is out there on Atlantic Avenue. And then we also have a new type of brewing company, very modern, very, very new, very different, called the Beer Lab. There you go. I got it. The Beer Lab. And, those are innovative different types of businesses that we're bringing into the 7th District. Besides the fact that, I'm very proud of the fact that we have Measure A that passed. We're fixing a lot of streets and sidewalks that we never could do before because we were always deferring maintenance to another time because we just didn't have the money. Now we have a revenue stream that will help us fix streets, fix sidewalks, cut trees. And a lot of those issues are what are important to residents. They want to see their streets fixed. They want to see their sidewalks walkable. And we're doing that. And those are two big changes that we've had. The third one, public safety. We're hiring more police officers and firefighters than we ever did before, and that's also because of Measure A, because we're able to balance our budget, and we're able to use those monies that would go otherwise towards maintenance to hire more people, to provide greater opportunities for people to go on the streets, to enjoy their businesses, to enjoy their communities and walk the streets. So when we're looking at how we have made some progress, we've made some great progress in the city of Long Beach, in the 7th District, and the city at large. And we're also having opportunities to get more people out into the communities, into their businesses, because we're creating more opportunities for business to open up and people enjoy.
Now, you've always been involved with the community for a long, long time. But before you were city council person, and now that you are city council person, what is the most challenging thing about being an elected official?
Well, the most challenging thing is always being visible and being everywhere at the same time. There's always events that you can't go to. You have to be selective sometimes. But most of the time, I try to make every community meeting, every community event. We have National Night Out. I go to those meetings. Neighbors have host night out activities. They host ice cream socials. They host 4th of July barbecues. I try to make every single one of them, and that's part of the visibility that you need to get. However, I'm only one person. So trying to schedule all those at the same time is a challenge. But I really make it a great effort to be out there as much as I can, listening to the voters, listening to the residents, hearing their concerns. What is it that they want to have done in their city? What is it that they want to have done in their neighborhood? And we are paying attention. I have a great staff, and we've been very responsive to a lot of those concerns, a lot of those needs. So that is probably one of the most greatest challenges that we have.
Now, in your district, you have economic diversity. You have the working class on the west side. You have more of the upper middle class here in Bixby Knolls. How much of the challenge is finding that common denominator where you're serving both classes?
Well, as you're correct. I mean, we have the upper middle class, and working class, and each community has its own needs. It has its own wants in terms of what they want to see addressed. Up here in the Bixby area, they want more businesses, so we are addressing that. 3 out of the 4 businesses that we opened up are up here: Steelhead, Steelcraft, and Liberation. We're also having needs for more streets and sidewalks to be repaired, and that's what they're looking at. Also in this area, there were concerns 4 years ago about Long Beach Airport and the expansion and the building of the FIS, the Federal Inspection Service. I made a commitment 4 years ago saying, we're not going to expand our airport. We're going to keep it the little boutique airport that it is, and I did. And I came through that with that promise. Long Beach Airport is a great facility. It's been used. It's successful, and we're trying to also keep our tenants there responsible to obey and abide by the noise ordinance. And we're working on that. We have made a lot of progress in that area. There's more to be done. By no means have we solved all the issues regarding the airport or the noise ordinance. We're revisiting it. We're looking to see what we can do to improve it, make it stronger, so that our carriers are more responsive and more respectful of the neighborhoods when they fly out and fly in.
Now, one of the top issues in any district, in any city in this country, is homelessness.
Yes.
It's a very large issue. How can you, as a city council person, elected official, make an impact on the homeless situation?
Well, when it comes down to homelessness, it's a regional issue, and it's a diverse issue in the sense that we need to get all our stakeholders involved. It's not only me as a city council member, but it's also the school board and the school district, it's the university, it's the college, it's the businesses, it's the corporate people. We all need to get together and look at how are we going to address homelessness. It didn't happen overnight. It's a problem that's been happening for maybe the last 10 years since the bubble burst in the real estate market back in the late 2000s, 2010, 2008, around there. So a lot of people lost their homes. So now we have to look at creative ways to keep people in their homes so that they're not at risk of losing their homes and then becoming homeless. We also have to do preventive measures in regards to how we're going to address homelessness, such as more employment training, creating more jobs, creating more opportunities for aspiring entrepreneurs and business people to open up a store, to open up a shop, to use their skills so that they can convert those into an entrepreneurial opportunity for them to be successful. Homelessness is going to be with us for a while, and there's also an issue regarding mental health issues. So we need to expand those opportunities and those services so that people can have a place to go if they're experiencing either a mental health issue or a drug addiction issue, or just wanting a bed to put to have a pillow. So we need to work on that. It's a multi-regional, multi-service, multi-people type of solution that we need to arrive at. And I hope that in the next 4 years that I'm there, that we're going to address it and we're going to make a major impact on being able to lower that. We have made some impacts in the last 4 years. Homelessness is down. The last counts that we've had, and I've been part of that. I've gone to those counts at 5 or 6 in the morning when we're waking up people on the river and in the alleys and everywhere else. And we ask them, what created this homeless situation for you? And a lot of it has to do no jobs, lost their home, family situations, and so we need to address those. And the only way we're going to be able to do that is to be creative and get all the stakeholders involved to come up with some creative, innovative ways of being able to address our homeless population. It might not happen. Let me rephrase that. It might not go away in the next 4 years, but it is my anticipation and my hope that we're going to make a real significant impact on it, where there's going to be even less homeless individuals out in the streets.
Roberto Uranga is running for re-election for the city of Long Beach, the 7th District. We'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back. We're here again talking to Roberto Uranga, who's a 7th District City Council person. He's running for re-election, and there are some issues that, Roberto, that need to be addressed in your challenge to be to repeat as city council person. And one of those is, before we get into some of the issues, I often wondered, you have been a person that have been an experienced community leader for a long period of time, but I never dreamed that you would run for city council person. How did that come about?
Well, as you obviously know, I've been a community activist for many years. My wife and I have been very active in the community with many organizations. We've attended all our neighborhood association meetings for many years. And so people knew us, and people know me. And the day came when I worked for the city of Long Beach and I retired. And so I'm at home, and I get a call from one of the sitting council members, says that my predecessor is not running for re-election, that I should jump into that race and for his seat. I said, well, okay, let me think about it. Then I get another call about a half hour later from another city council member, and he says, your predecessor is not running for re-election, and you should jump into that race and replace him. They go, well, will you help me raise money, endorse me, and get me elected? He says, absolutely. So in about a half hour later, I get a text from my wife. It says, you have your press release ready? And I had to say right then and there, I'm working on it. So that day, with the help and the endorsements and support of not only my colleagues on the city council, but from community people, from business leaders and other community leaders, said, you should run for city council because we think you would make a great councilman. And that's how I ran, and I won. And the last 4 years have been quite eventful. We've done a lot of good things. We've made a lot of progress, a lot of change. The city that I first got into 4 years ago is a different city than it is today. Today we're balancing our budgets. We're hiring more police officers and firefighters than we've ever been before. We're fixing more streets and sidewalks thanks to the voters because they passed Measure A. And we're also being able to do more economic development, create more opportunities for businesses to thrive, and more opportunities for people to walk our streets and feel good about where they live.
Let's dial all the way back to Roberto. Let's talk about your hometown, how long you've been in Long Beach, your family, and some of the things that really motivate you as a community active. Where were you born?
Okay, well, I was born in El Paso, Texas.
Okay.
Back in the day. Mm-hmm. And I grew up in the streets of East Los Angeles. So it wasn't easy in the beginning because, if you always hear about East Los Angeles, there's a lot of gang activity and the influences of drugs and gangs is out there. I was able to get away from that. And the family moved out of the district, and I'm out of East LA, and we moved into Santa Fe Springs. So I went to Santa Fe High School. Mm-hmm. And then from there, I landed at Long Beach State as a freshman. Long Beach State, once I landed there, was like a wish come true. I mean, I just fell in love with the university. I went to school there, worked there, and then from there I moved on to the city of Long Beach, and I worked for 28 years in various positions in the city. And it's been one of those paths that I've taken where it's just been blessed. I mean, I feel like we're really blessed to be here. And along the road, I met my wife, got married. We started our lives together in West Long Beach, living right off of 32nd and Adriatic, right down the street from Silverado Park. Mm-hmm. My kids ended up playing baseball there, Little League. Pop Warner out of Silverado, and my connection with West Long Beach is very special because of that, and with them too. They still have friends who live in the West Long Beach area, and as we do as well. And then when we moved into Wrigley, we've been in Wrigley now for over 30 years. Yeah. And it's been it's a great neighborhood, and there's great neighborhoods all over the 7th District. When you come up here, you live in the Cal Heights area. Cal Heights is a great neighborhood. Bixby Highlands up the street from you is great. We have Memorial Heights, and then we have Los Cerritos neighborhood, and then we have, of course, Wrigley and the neighborhood and the associations that are down there, WANA, the Wrigley Area Neighborhood Alliance, and the Wrigley Association. So I've been very active in all those associations. So that's why they know me, and that's one of the reasons I think that I was successful in not only getting elected, but I've been successful in working those associations to address a lot of the concerns that they have in regards to whether it's airport noise, whether it's a Port of Long Beach and container traffic and air quality, or whether it's homelessness and crime in other areas. So we're listening and we're paying attention to what they have to share with us in terms of my office, and we are addressing them. We're doing real good.
This district is a part of the whole city of Long Beach. Right. What is your vision for the district? And where would you like to see Long Beach go from an economic basis, from a political basis, from a a development basis. What is your vision for the city of Long Beach and your district?
Yeah. Well, the city of as a city council member, you not only represent your district where you got elected, but you also represent the city as a whole. And I think we're doing some real great things with the city. I mean, economic development has been a major success in Long Beach. When you look at the cranes downtown, and you see when you see those cranes up there, that's economic development. That's jobs. Jobs are being created, and when jobs are being created, that means that the economy is doing very well. Businesses are coming into Long Beach, and we're growing, and we're being successful. When you look at we're hiring more police officers and firefighters because we're balancing our budgets. That also makes our streets safer. That makes wanting people to move into Long Beach. And then we're looking at, as well as that, we're looking at our economic development in terms of our homes and our prices of our homes that are going up, and being much more business friendly and home friendly, and getting more an environment where people want to move into Long Beach because it's a great town and a great city. We're 500,000 people, so there's a lot of challenges that we face with 500,000 people, and each district is about 50,000 people. My district, the 7th district, is about 50,000 people, and it's as diverse as you can possibly be, both from an economic standpoint in terms of having upper middle class, and working class residents and areas and neighborhoods, to also looking at the diversity in terms of what we ought to offer in each of those areas. We're looking at business corridors, for example. In the West Long Beach area, we have Santa Fe, which is a business corridor that we're looking at developing for the future, getting more businesses there to thrive. We were very instrumental, for example, in the time that I've been there, to open up a couple of businesses down there, one over the 5,000 Pies. It's a great pizza organization and business, and I call it organization because they're not only a thriving business, but they help people get jobs by providing them with training and opportunities to know what it's like to have a job. And the pastor down there is doing a great job with economic development there and getting people jobs. We have the Willow corridor from Magnolia all the way up to the border with LA. That is an area that we're also looking at. We're looking at getting more business down there. In fact, we helped open up the beer lab right there on Daisy and Willow, which is very successful, unique, different. And they call it a beer lab because they're making different kinds of beers using different types of formulas. And if you ever had an opportunity, go have a beer down there. I highly recommend it. It's a very, very tasteful, and they also make bread down there. So I mean, it's a unique type of business, and that's the types of opportunities that we need to encourage for our economic base and economic development in the 7th district as well.
But on a national level, Roberto,
Yes,
we have not seen this type of division and disunity in this country in a long, long time. It was just probably the Vietnam War. What's going to bring people together in this diverse district that you have? You have a spectrum of people.
Yes.
What's going to bring this city, this country together? What do you think will be the formula of type of leadership that will bring this city together, or this country together?
well, that's a good question and tough question, because when we look at each other, I don't see Erroll Parker an African American. I see Erroll Parker, my friend. And when I look at other individuals around the city, and we have to start thinking in one way, that we're neighbors.
That's right.
That we're part of the community, and we all live here, and we have to work together to make our community stronger. When we start working together, and we start having the same goals and the same ambitions and the same dynamics that we want to thrive and live in Long Beach, that's where we're going to break that cycle of divisiveness that we're experiencing nationally, because we have to look at each other as our citizens, as neighbors, as a community. And the one key word in community is there's unity in the word community. And that's what's going to be the key, and that's what's going to resolve a lot of the differences that we have with one another, if you want to call it differences. I don't see them as differences. I just see them as challenges that we need to face and we need to conquer. And so it always happens with challenges. you have opportunities. And we have a lot of opportunities out there to get together and make a difference for our communities so that we can all be thriving and create the dynamic city that Long Beach is.
Let's move then to a controversial subject, that 710 freeway.
Yes.
Some people call it an expansion. You choose to call it a modernization.
Yes.
Tell us about that. Will homes be removed? Why are they? Tell us, why is it such a controversy? Tell us about this 710.
Well, you know, the 710 project is has been going on for at least 20 years, more so than that, ever since probably the 710 was built back in the 60s. And what it is basically is not, there's a lot of misinformation out there, including misinformation even now, even to this day, that it's an expansion. It's not an expansion. What it is a modernization to get trucks out of the 710 freeway and create a path for trucks that are going to be taking another route away from the 710 so that they can make their deliveries to the Hobart station, which is down in the City of Commerce. But anyway, so it creates truck lanes that will be basically traversed by near zero or zero emission vehicles. We have a part of the City Council and the plan that we forwarded to Metro, which they adopted, is to do precisely that: create lanes for trucks, create opportunities, funding for operators to buy zero emission and near zero emission vehicles so that they could transport all that cargo. The port is not going to go away, and the port is not going to get any smaller. Actually, it's getting bigger. So there's more opportunities for eliminating trucks from polluting our air. Along with the plan that we have that was adopted, we're actually asking for more air conditioners, for more filters, for more opportunities to clean the air involving port traffic and traffic on the 710 freeway. And there's going to be zero, let me say it again, zero homes that are going to be removed, so people are not going to lose their homes. And that's a lot of the misinformation is going out there. Yeah. People are saying, "Oh, we're going to lose 400 people, 400 residents, and people are going to get displaced." No, they're not. Not under the plan that we submitted. And I would encourage people to visit our website and look at what the 710 modernization project is all about.
What website are you talking about?
Longbeach.gov.
Okay. There's a lot of young people in this district. Mm-hmm. And life for young people is pretty tough, much tougher than it was when we were growing up. Mm-hmm. What would you like to see as far as our young people in your district get involved with, so they can be safe and they can get an education, they can get the kind of education that we got, mm-hmm. and go on and have a great life?
Yeah. Well, you know, one of the things that we haven't been real good at in the past, we're making some improvements, is working with our school district. But that's changing. Mm-hmm. What we have now is as you might recall, I was a member of the Long Beach City College Board of Trustees. Yes. And during my time there, I helped establish the College Promise. And the College Promise was a union of Long Beach Unified School District, the college, and the university. When I came to the City Council, I asked our mayor, Robert Garcia, who used to work at City College, by the way, he says, "What are we going to do about bringing those in with us? We need to get together on this." So with him, we created the College Promise, and we inserted now the City of Long Beach. So now we have all the municipal public entities now are working together to create a seamless opportunity for kids to go to school, to get internships with us, with the City of Long Beach, that will eventually lead to jobs. So that's what we need to do more. We need to create much more opportunities for our young people to not only get that pathway towards a university degree or college or a certificate or whatever it is that they want, whatever their goal is to have, but also create those opportunities to get the training that they would need through an internship or an apprenticeship or any other kind of experiential learning, and then eventually lead into a job. As you might recall, I was a recruitment officer for the city of Long Beach for many
remember
years.
that, yes.
And that was part of my goal, was to also get students to apply for Long Beach jobs. For example, to be a firefighter, all you have to be is 18 years old with a high school diploma. You didn't need a degree, you didn't need anything else other than be strong, willing to work, and be able to pass a test. And so we still have jobs like that, but we know now, because of this different era that we're in now, we need to have people with backgrounds, with skills, and that's what we need to work on, is working together with our three different entities to create a pathway towards success.
Roberto, I would like you to look in that camera and I'd like you to ask those people who will be viewing this program why they should vote for you.
Well, you should vote for me because I'm experienced. I have the background. I've lived in the city for over 35 years. I know the city like the back of my hand. I worked after 28 years. I retired from the city, as well as being able to have the connections with the neighborhoods, because I've been in every neighborhood association and in every neighborhood at least 3 or 4 times over the last 30 years that I've been in the city of Long Beach. So a vote for me is a vote for the future, actually, and it's a vote for change, and it's a vote for, more importantly, progress. And that's what we want to have. We want to have progress in the city of Long Beach. So I would appreciate your vote, and on June 5th, vote for Roberto Uranga.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Roberto Uranga, who is running for city councilman. I've known him for a long time. He's running for re-election. He's experienced. His heart is in the right place. You ought to go out and vote for him. And at least you should go out and vote. But I would say I would endorse this gentleman that I've been knowing for a long time, and I think you ought to vote for him. Thank you very much for your viewership, and we'll see you another time.